Hello, my little piggies. Welcome back to I Am a Bit of an Expert, a Peppa Pig podcast. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and joining me down the line, as always, live from Adelaide, it's Matt Frost. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very good, thanks, Josh. How are you?
I'm good. I'm looking forward to this episode. We sort of hinted at it in the last episode that anytime there's potential for the wider gang to get involved, we like that a lot.
Yeah, and when I saw it come on and all those characters on the screen, oh,
You did a little high, gave yourself a little high five.
you bet. So yeah,
Very happy with that. Yeah, so we're in the playground here. So what goes down in the playground?
not a lot, but it's a good episode. Yeah, hey, the pig family are down at the playground, and they're not alone. There's who have we got? We've got my boy Pedro Pony and a not very often sighted mummy pony. Candy Cat, Mummy Cat,
Yep.
Danny Dog, and Grandpa Dog, and his mum's there too.
Yeah. So obviously, since we know that Daddy Dog is married to the sea and is an absent father, that the Grandpa Dog sort of comes and picks up the slack. So I don't know whether he's Mummy Dog's dad or whether he's Daddy Dog's dad. It would probably be slightly more interesting if it was Daddy Dog's dad, that he sort of felt, that he had to. He felt guilty that his son's absent. His son's absence wasn't there.
Well, did he do the same thing to Daddy Dog? Was he married to the sea?
True.
Because you remember, he's also a sailor because he's best
That's
friends.
very true.
I'm thinking it's a guilt thing. He was
He knows.
he was never
It
there
could
for
be
Daddy Dog, so he's going to be there for Danny.
Or maybe it's a family business thing that he's a merchant seaman, but one goes off, and then when he retired, he said, "Well, son, you've got to represent the seas for the family, and I will look after young Danny like my father, did to you when you were little." And there it goes. Like maybe we're digging in too deep here, but that's what this is all about, really, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, because to be honest, Daddy Dog does go on about it a bit.
Yeah, I think he got pulled. I mean, he does show up later series. Spoilers
Yep.
for everybody, but but it does take a while before he's never really 100% committed back to family life, is he? He's always sort of looking over the horizon. He's a bit, like Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow in that case or something.
Yeah, it's deadbeat Daddy Dog. So
Yeah, I mean, to his credit, he does stay, but there is a few moments there where he sort of looks like he's just going to disappear in the night.
yeah, but I guess to be honest, he's not in this episode. So,
No, it's not. Sorry if you're expecting us to say, and then he turns up at the end. I mean, it's not like remarked upon. It's not as if Daddy Dog is having trouble enjoying himself at the playground because his dad's not there.
yeah,
We're just going through the characters that are currently here. I mean, we should note before we go any further that they've gone and built this playground on top of a bloody great big
hill, yeah.
as is the norm in Pepperville.
where if a child was to go the wrong way off a slide, they could probably perpetually motion themselves down to the
Straight off the thing. I mean, those swings go pretty high too. I mean, they have got some fencing around it at least, so that's something. But yeah, it's certainly the potential to just go flying there. But I mean, the episode's sort of centered mostly around George being afraid of heights, isn't it? Really, that seems to be the crux of the story.
It is. It's the main plot thread for sure. George, and that comes up in other episodes too. That George is a little afraid of heights. So he has a go on the swing, and Pepper pushes him a bit hard, and he's a bit frightened. And
He's lucky he doesn't tip backwards on that thing. Like Olive's 4, and she's still, a lot of times on the swing will go into the little one with the latch and stuff on it, because it's very easy to tip off the slides, especially when you're going that high. But despite the heights, he doesn't seem to have any trouble gripping on for dear life.
yeah, but he's not happy. He's
No.
he's howling. So my kids are both absolute swing demons. So then,
Oh, really?
yeah, they when you're pushing safety limits, you're pushing them so hard that they're sort of coming out of their seat a bit.
Looks like they're nearly flipping all the way around,
Yeah.
doing a complete flip over the top.
They're still screaming higher, higher. So they've always been like that. So, yeah.
I was waiting for the swing to sort of, I know they weren't going to do it, but, the swing to swing back and clock Pepper in the head or something like that. Because she's standing, because she really gives it a good push there, but she does have the presence of mind to sort of stand back out of the way as George does his backswing.
It's always funny, we've all been at the playground where a kid's just copped it and just copped some feet to the face, and
yeah.
I copped a one of those swings where two people sit on it, sort of the metal ones that sort of go back and forth.
Wow, yeah.
I copped one of them to the face when I was a kid and knocked a tooth out. So my sisters were on. So
oh dear.
Yeah.
They're a lot more safety conscious, the old playgrounds these days. There's a lot more sort of padding and rubber and things. As we were probably growing up, a lot more sort of metal and wood.
Oh, definitely. I mean, bark chips were probably the only concession to safety, sort of.
Yeah.
But I guess we were sort of in the first, when we were kids, things were starting to be a bit safe. But there was some pretty famous playgrounds around the country that sort of have gone the way of the dodo a little bit.
Yeah. I remember there were a few sort of growing up, and, they'd have the one that you'd spin around as fast as you could, and just going, oh, that thing's just an absolute death trap waiting to happen. Some of this stuff, but so they give George a little push on the thing, and then there's quite a funny moment where the kids are sort of swinging on this tire swing, and Pepper quite barges her way in, going, oh, that's not the way you swing on a swing, and I'll show you how to do it, and then. The thing I noticed of this is that all the other characters all sort of gather around to watch her after she declares that this is the way that you're going to swing a swing. So she's sort of setting herself up for failure. And she jumps at... Oh, you go, mate.
It's a great little look into Pepper's personality. She is a little bit of a bossy boots, a little bit of a, I'll be the one to do this sort of thing. And having... one that's definitely a bit like that myself. It's sort of
yeah.
It's gonna bite them in the bum, but
yeah. So it's a nice little bit of comeuppance where she basically she sort of squeezes through the tire to swing, and then probably just gets herself stuck in the thing and sort of stops dead, and the look on her face, and everybody just kind of has a bit of a laugh at her, really, which is quite good, actually.
Very accurate, and she's a bit aghast that she's been made fun of, and Daddy Pig sort of tells her to sort of get over it, which is a bit of foreshadowing in itself.
Yeah,
but
and then all the kids have to band together to pull her out of the tire.
Yeah, so she is literally a stuck pig. So, which is exactly what happens, and. Then we move on to the sort of the, what would you call it, the piece de la resistance of the playground, the slide. So.
And to be honest, I didn't remember this episode before watching it, and I honestly didn't see it coming. Normally they sort of telegraph this sort of stuff from a mile out, and I kind of thought that once they'd done Pepper being stuck, that they wouldn't really do that again. But so as soon as I saw Daddy Pig starting to climb that ladder, I was like, here we go. Yeah. Enjoying a bit of this.
So the reason for Daddy Pig to climb the slide, I saw there was a big debate on the social medias whether you call it a slide or a slippery dip. Are you a slide man, slippery dip?
No, it was always a slide. I think our buddy, Reed Parker, was talking about that, and he's a New Zealander, and I can't remember whether he was slide or slippery dip. Whichever one we aren't, I think he was. But Yeah, I'm certainly not slippery dip. Slide, always been slide.
Yeah,
for
it's
us.
slippery dip, but I was sort of not to the point where I didn't know what somebody was talking about when they said slide. So, and I certainly wasn't going to.
Plant your flag.
No, God, no. I just found it quite amusing, but they call it a slide here, so it's a slide for this, and
Well, it's Her Majesty's English, so
yep,
we
but
might just putting it out there.
but unfortunately, after George sort of backs out of going down the slide, there's not a lot of sliding happen because our man Daddy Pig gets stuck.
Yeah, now he gets stuck halfway down, and I'm assuming that the slide isn't getting any thinner as you go down. So it's interesting that his velocity got him at least halfway down before he couldn't go any further.
Before the tyranny of friction just took over.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. He might have been getting a little bit of onesie burn or something from.
Yeah.
He was going down reasonably fast. I mean, George manages to sort of get to the bottom safely, but yeah, it's he does get stuck and he's a little embarrassed by it all, and everybody thinks it's all pretty funny. And then they sort of humiliate him further by all the kids band together to sort of jump on the slide behind him and pop him out.
Yeah, yeah, it's and he sort of cannonballs off the end, which is reminded. We've got a slide at our house, or a slippery dip, and my wife, who's not normally this way inclined at all, decided that to put the paddling pool at the bottom of the slide and start running water down it in the middle of summer. And I'm just like, I don't think that's a very good idea. And she goes, "Oh, don't be silly." And Sarai went down it and flew straight off the end, cleared the paddling pool. And sort of,
like, I'm assuming that's not what you want. That result you wanted.
No.
Maybe I got a really good video for Instagram. That's exactly what I wanted to happen.
Yes, I think the idea was for the child to land in the paddling pool, not on the lawn. But yeah, and Daddy Pig then becomes sort of like a piece of play equipment himself.
Yeah, so this is sort of it's almost sort of slapstick, isn't it? Really, he sort of flies off the slide and lands on his back, and then all the kids they slide off the slide as well. And for some reason, they're all flying off at the midway point. They don't really show them where they're coming off the slide. They're sort of not coming off the end, but somewhere off the middle, and then they proceed to bounce off Daddy Pig's stomach with their feet, no less.
Yeah.
No, on their bottoms. Sorry, no, they do land on their bottoms.
I think George hops on later with his feet, which is a Sabine move. She likes to jump on me with her feet like I'm a trampoline. So, but Daddy Pig is initially a little bit embarrassed, but then it's quite chuffed by it. So
takes it at his stride,
like he always will, Josh. So
that's right. We sort of established when he was getting fit that he probably needed to take a bit of baby steps. You would have thought this might be another bit of a wake up call, like not being able to touch your toes, having small children bouncing off your tummy, but
and getting stuck on a slippery dip slide.
Getting stuck on a slide. Well, either is fine. Either is fine. Yeah. So I think his attitude is good, but it also sort of keeps him in a state of willful ignorance, shall we say?
Yeah. I think Daddy Pig just makes hay when the sun shines. So he makes the best of every situation, and if it involves him being a trampoline, involves him being a trampoline. So
yeah, so be it. Now it's I'm just quickly going back and just checking it because I was just looking at the footage of Pepper. Sort of does slide off the very end of the slide as she gets off, but then the other kids, when Daddy Pig's lying down, you can actually see at the bottom of the slide, and the kids aren't there. So Pepper's coming off the end, the other kids aren't. But anyway, that's that's a problem when you freeze frame these things. You always poke the holes But
I think you and Peppa Pig physics are always going to have some issues, Josh. So
yeah, I think so. I think I shouldn't worry too much about that. But look, a really fun little episode here. Always great to get the wider team in. Always good when we see the other kids, and some good Daddy Pig stuff as well.
Yeah, we see a few of the parents. Nobody really gets a lot of lines per se. We just get to see him running around. My boy Pedro's there. We get to see Pedro's mum. So
hopefully we'll see more of them. Before you know it, really.
We got to discuss, Danny Dog's dysfunctional family. So,
yeah, well, that's the that's where the real crux of things are, isn't it? That's where the real juice is.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on this one?
Just another good, consistent episode. Lots of fun in this one. Sort of, Pepper and Daddy sort of trading off bit of hubris. It was a good one.
It was a good one. All right. Well, we'll be back next time with Daddy puts up a picture. So I have a feeling there's probably going to be a little bit more hubris in this one as well, which is, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but I'm not a betting man, but I think we'll probably see some more of that. Well, you can find us at Peppa Pig Pod on all the socials. Thanks for everybody who's downloaded and left reviews and sends messages and things. Thanks for listening. And thank you to you, Matt. Always a pleasure.
You too, Josh. Always good. And good night, my little piggies. Yeah, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bang and a bong and a bang. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo.